Welcome back to the Pals Fundamentals YouTube channel for another news report. Lots to cover today, so let's get right to it. Greenland and Denmark. Quite a bit happening there recently that's caught the attention of a lot of people.
Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. is scheduled to arrive in Greenland Tuesday, January 7th, 2 p.m. Danish time, and a lot of people are interested in that.
It was first reported to be a personal trip, maybe to make some content, but now we're hearing he may actually meet with Greenlandic officials, which would be different from what we first heard.
And, well, King Frederik of Denmark has redesigned the Danish royal coat of arms to give more prominence to symbols representing Greenland and the Faroe Islands.
A lot of media outlets are saying the timing of this redesign so close to Trump Jr.'s visit is a message to the incoming U.S. administration.
In the meantime, Greenland's Premier Mutby Ejed just canceled a meeting with King Frederik in Copenhagen.
Ejed says just scheduling conflicts and not anything political. It's important to remember that Ejed has said publicly that he wants Greenland to become independent.
Right, and that makes things even more complicated, especially with comments made by Donald Trump Sr., the incoming U.S. president.
On Truth Social, Trump Sr. said that Greenland could really benefit if it were to become part of the U.S., and even said that he thinks a lot of Greenlanders are pro-MAGA.
And Elon Musk, he said that he thinks Greenlanders could benefit financially if they side with the U.S.
This isn't the first time the U.S. has shown an interest in Greenland.
The U.S. has always known how strategically important Greenland is. In fact, a U.S. Foreign Ministry report back in 1867 even highlighted its strategic and resource value.
In 1946, President Truman even offered to buy Greenland from Denmark for $100 million in gold.
Denmark said no, said Greenland wasn't for sale, but they did let the U.S. put military personnel in Greenland.
So now the focus isn't so much on military stuff, but more on resources and who might own them.
Yeah, Greenland has a lot of natural resources like oil and gas and those rare earth minerals that are so important for all the new technology.
And as the demand for these resources keeps going up, everyone wants to make sure they can get to them.
Right, and if you control those resources, that can give you a real advantage, especially as the world relies more and more on technology.
So that puts Greenland in the middle of this big global power struggle with countries like the U.S. and China and Russia all seeing how important it is.
And you've got Greenland wanting to be independent, which makes things even more complicated. If they do become fully independent, they'll have to be really careful dealing with all these other countries that want a piece of the action.
Especially since they have a fairly small population.
Yeah.
They'll need to pick the right partners and make sure they're looking out for themselves.
And there's the security side of things, too. The Arctic is becoming more and more militarized as the ice cap melts.
And with all these new shipping routes opening up, that has big strategic implications for everyone, which makes Greenland's location even more important.
It's not just about the resources now, it's also about controlling these new sea lanes and having power in the Arctic.
And with Donald Trump Jr. heading over there, things are getting even more interesting.
We'll have to see if he just keeps to himself or if he ends up talking to officials in Greenland.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity with everything else that's going on, especially with all the things his father's been saying about Greenland.
And Premier Ejed canceling his meeting with King Frederik in Copenhagen is adding fuel to the fire.
Even though he says it was just a scheduling problem, the timing does make you wonder.
Things are changing fast. We'll keep you updated as things develop. Be sure to stick around for part 3, where we'll look more closely at what all this could mean for the economy and the global power balance.
We've been talking about this situation that's unfolding in Greenland and Denmark, and now we want to look at what it could mean for the economy and global politics.
Well, the economic side of things is huge. Greenland has all these natural resources, and like we were saying earlier, those rare earth minerals are super important for all the technology we use.
And, like we said before, whoever controls those resources has a big advantage, especially as the world becomes more and more reliant on technology.
And the effects on geopolitics are huge, too. The Arctic is changing so much with the ice melting and new shipping routes opening up, and everyone wants to control those and get access to the resources there.
So now you've got all these powerful countries, the U.S. and China, Russia, all trying to get more influence in the Arctic because it's so strategically important.
And then you add in the U.S. interest in Greenland, especially with what Trump Sr. has been saying, it just gets more and more complex.
It seems like Denmark is reacting to all this, redesigning the royal coat of arms and Ejed canceling that meeting with King Frederik. It all adds to the tension.
It's really unpredictable right now. We'll just have to see how things play out and what it all means for the balance of power in the Arctic.
Make sure you subscribe to Pals Fundamentals on YouTube for more news reports like this. As this story continues to develop, we'll keep you updated.